So, I heard you want a code.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 8 of our scripting tutorials in Roblox Studio. Today we're going to be covering a thing called tweening. In my last video I got a request to cover this, so I'm going to show you how it's done. Basically what tweening is it's a way of smoothly animating things or changing properties from a smooth smooth gradient between the original property and the given property. So basically what that means is, let's say I wanted to change this transparency from 0 up to 1 without, skipping from 0 all the way to 1 like that. It would go from something like 0, and then it would smoothly fade out like that. So that's kind of what tweening does. You can use it on things like the size, C-frame, position, rotation, reflectance, all that kind of stuff, color too. And so yeah, I'm going to first show you all the different types of tweens. So these are easing styles right here. There's a couple different ones, quite a few different easing styles, but in this demonstration here, we have all of them using an easing direction of out, and so I'll show you what that looks like when we run the game here. And this will show all the different animation types that you can have. So you may have noticed that while I'm running it here, that they speed up when they start. They are pretty fast, and then they slow down towards the end. That's because I'm using the out easing direction. But if I were using the in easing direction, it would start fast. No, it would start slow, and then it would speed up towards the end. That's how in works, and out is the opposite, which is what you're seeing here. It's starting fast and then slowing down at the end. In starts slow and speeds up at the end. So we can show you a few different examples here of how this works. So I'm just using the easing style sine in this case because it's a very good one for demonstrating the different easing directions. And I'm just going to name this part here. Let's see. I'm going to name it in direction. And I'm going to name the other one right here the out direction. So let's do that. Out direction. And now the only difference between these two scripts is literally this out right here. In the other script, this is in, but you can also make it in out, which in that case, the animation would start slow, speed up in the middle, and then go slow on the end. So I'll show you how these work. I'm gonna set it back to out. And basically, to make a tween, you get a reference to your tween service, just like this. You can name this whatever you want. You could call it tween service. You could call it tweening. You could call it TS. And I do underscore TS because that's how I know it's a service, with this underscore. And it's an abbreviated form of tween service. So then you're going to want to get a reference to the part or GUI or whatever you're trying to tween. So you get a reference to that part or GUI, whatever it is. In my case, it's a part. So by doing script.parent, because the script is inside of the part, the script's parent is the part. And then you need a thing called tweeninfo, which is created by doing tweeninfo.new. and it creates a new tween info. A tween info has 3 different parameters here. Actually, it has a couple more parameters than what I just said, but you only need 3 of them really. In the first parameter, which is this one here, this is the time that it will take for the animation to finish. So in this case, it's 1 second. And then you've got your easing style, which is, in my case, I've done sine, which is basically a sine wave. It kind of goes, it starts flat, curves up in the middle, and then curves back down and makes a bell shape. That's a sine wave. So that's how this animation will work. But yeah, so this is the animation type, and then this is the direction that you use in the animation. So it's basically the forces applied to the animation. And in my case, I'm using out for this one. And then to basically make the tween, you can write local tween equals, then your reference to your tween service, colon, create. And that creates a new tween. And your first parameter is going to be the part or GUI or whatever you're trying to animate. So you put your reference in there, and then you put your tween info that we've just created into the middle. And then right here is the property that you want to change, but you have to have it in curly brackets like this to make a table. Or you could, if I wanted to, I could say local goal color equals this, the table squiggly brackets, then color equals target color. Now, instead of having these squiggly brackets here, I could simply put goal color. And then you do tween colon play to play the animation. So let's see how these different types work. There's the out direction and the in direction. So it's going to wait 5 seconds so we have time to walk up to it in our game, and then we'll see how it works. Sorry, something just dropped. So as you can see, this one started slow, but went faster towards the end. That's why it reached its color before this one did. This one started fast and then slowed down towards the end, which is why it reached its color after this one. And you could also see that they smoothly, I'll do it again, they smoothly transition between being this gray color to the blue color. It's quite smooth. It's like a fade or a gradient. And now I'm going to show you this other part that was over on our left here, what it does. So basically, we've got this part here, and in the tween, we are changing its size. And it's the same thing as changing its color, except in this case, you use a vector 3 to change its size. And I'm going to show you that you can change multiple properties at the same time. So let's say colon color equals target color. And that makes a table of properties that you want to change. And so you'll see that when I test here, this one has a 10-second delay between or transition. So you'll see in 10 seconds that the part will start sizing itself up and changing blue very slowly, and it takes 10 seconds for it to fully transition to its bigger size and its blue color. And so now it's done, and that is basically tweening for you. These are the different animation types that you'll see in tweening. These are the easing styles. And so you can kind of get a little visual representation of how each different one works. But yeah, that's how tweening works. And you can do this with GUIs, with parts, with number values, with pretty much like almost anything, any instance that has properties that can be a range of values. So yeah, that's how this works, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's made sense. I know I covered it kind of quickly, but if you have any more questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.